Hi everyone, I want to start the discussion launcher for literature and literary criticism for this week. I know that coming from last week into this week, we talked quite a bit about looking at the conferences, for example, and the diversity that we saw there on different issues going on in English studies and being able to explore all of those and all the different areas that we were looking for. So as we're going into this week, Taylor is focusing on the division of knowledge as a central challenge to literature students. He starts by talking about the narratives of origin, he calls them. So he goes back as far as Greek and Latin text. He doesn't go back as far as Egyptian, Sumerian, Mesopotamian, like Gilgamesh or cuneiform works they dug up out of the sand and translated. But he does talk about the roots of hermeneutics in the Bible, their influence on criticism in literature, and Aristotle's influence. He gets a lot into new criticism and talking about how that helps students to form a close reading, but it can also give them a false sense of truth. To boil a poem down, for example, to one line or a few core truths can give you a comfort, perhaps, but not necessarily a realistic feeling for how we can understand literature. He then talks about canon deformation and how established canons such as the great books that I have here behind me, he talks about how Heath, Norton, Longman, these were all texts that had these established canons, and he's looking at opening those up and saying that works fall in and out of fashion, that that's not really true, that there are established canons in stone, that reading closely, again he readdresses new criticism, reading closely is valuable, and that can be taken into the challenge of interdisciplinarity, that students of English and professors can all use that to, instead of create chaos, to create unity and having these deep core discussions and have medieval and American and British literature with modern all under one roof. So my questions for you this week are as follows. First of all, he says that, quote, literature is the best that is known and thought. I want to know if you agree with that and why. Second question is a challenge. The challenge is not just to appreciate what is best, but defend the principles of judgment. I want to know if you believe that's true for us and why. My third question for you is, what makes Shakespeare or any other author great? Um, and explain that for us. Thanks. Have a great week.